What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Crown 2 sub-tank. I'm back, baby, back in action once again, and I'm very excited to introduce to you guys the Crown 2 sub-tank by Uwell. Now, before I get started with this video, I do have to state my intent by saying that I did receive this product for free from the manufacturer for the purpose of doing this video review. However, this product has no monetary value to me, which means my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased. With that being said, I would like to give a huge shout out to Henry from Uwell for organizing this whole thing for me, and Daryl, aka Quest for Vape. You guys probably already subscribed to his channel already, but if you don't, make sure you check out the link in the description. I'll have it down there for you. Thank you so much, Daryl, for sending this to me. He actually sent me one of his that he got in for his reviews, so thank you so much. I can't tell you how much it means to me. So anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get right into some specs on this device. First of all, it is 510 threaded. It is 22 millimeters in diameter. It has a 4 mil juice capacity. It has new cone-shaped positive connectors on the coils for improved, smoother airflow, improved chimney design for stronger flavor, convenient anti-leaking top fill feature, removable drip tip, stainless steel construction, quartz glass tank, Delrin insulated drip tip. There's 3 different types of coils out there: 0.25, which are good at 60 to 110 watts for clouds, 0.5 ohm coils that are good from 50 to 80 watts for balanced clouds and flavor, and finally 0.8 ohm coils, which are good from 40 to 60 watts for best flavor, longer lifespan, and lower juice consumption. That's for all you guys that are going through 60 mils in a day. In the little tin, you will get a Crown 2 sub-tank, an extra glass piece, 0.25 pre-installed coil, a 0.5 spare coil, extra O-rings, a sticker, and a user manual. So you'll be seeing that in just a few seconds here when we dive down into the close-up views for a better look at this thing. Alright, vapors, let's get ready to rock and roll. We got the Crown 2 sub-tank right here in its original box. Just looking around the packaging, it's very reminiscent of the Rafale Uwell on top. No surprise there. Just kind of roll it around. You see Crown 2 and a few little things at the bottom. Let's see. This product has been protected by U.S. and Chinese patent laws. We reserve the right to take legal action against infringers. Oh, beware, cloners. Don't try to clone the Crown 2. So let's get into it. Right away, we had this little thing fall out, which is just like the little knight, so like guy, I guess. I don't know. There you go. You can see him a little bit better there, maybe, possibly. And yeah, so that just falls out. Packaging is kind of unique. You got this bubble packaging. Ooh. Careful. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's like a little pillow or something. I don't know. It's kind of unique, I guess. That's nice. It tends to be a little bit harder to get all this stuff out because it's crammed in there pretty good. But here we go. We have the tank itself. We're just going to put that to one side for right now. We have an extra coil. This is the 0.5 ohm coil. The 0.25 comes pre-installed. We have, come on, glass, extra spare glass piece, which is always nice when it comes to sub-tanks. Really, you know, gotta give it to those guys. They know us all too well, us vapors. We tend to break stuff. And a package of O-rings. Really nice that they give you like a full-on set of O-rings. Not sure what the yellow ones are for. Maybe that's just a replacement so you can have your tank have yellow O-rings instead of just plain clear. That's kind of cool. I like that. Let's see what else we got in here. I'm assuming a quick start guide. Come on. Come on. There we go. So let's see. Warnings, etc., etc., etc. Quick start guide. Pretty basic stuff. I feel like we all know this by now, but very nice piece of design right there. I really appreciate the kind of negative image, the black with the white printing. That's really, really nice. And even like with the little added accents of yellow on here. Actually, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. see if we can get this in all its glory here, because that's really nice. It kind of accentuates the yellow, meaning the part that's actually moving in the diagram. That's kind of nice. I really like that. I mean, this is all pretty much common knowledge at this point. I feel like you guys know what you're doing when it comes to filling a sub tank, but I really like the design as far as that's concerned. So very well done, Uwell. Proud of you guys. So there you go. Let's go ahead and we'll switch over to the other camera for a nice close-up view of this Crown 2 sub tank. Okay, so here we are with a little bit closer look at the Uwell Crown 2. Now we're just going to go top to bottom with this thing and just kind of dissect it a little bit. So starting off with the drip tip. As you might already be able to tell, they slightly updated it with a bit of Delrin inside there, which is meant to keep it cooler. They also have dual O-rings on there. It sticks in there rather nice. Really no complaints as far as it loosening up or anything like that. Nice wide bore drip tip on there. You could probably see right down through that. And you can kind of see where the Delrin starts inside that chamber there, which is the majority of the drip tip is actually Delrin. Just a little bit of metal on the outside is just kind of for show, really. Now, going on to the top piece here of the top cap, as you can see, the chimney section isn't really any wider or anything like that, just kind of the standard size, which that's the one problem I have with wide, big bore mouthpieces like that, is that it's a bit misleading. I mean, you don't really get that much of a wide bore out of it since it's being restricted by the actual size of the chimney. Now you can kind of see that glint of light there, which is actually how you remove the glass piece. That's that piece right there. So it is kind of restricting it somewhat, but the chimney bore, as you can see here, is not any bigger than the original crown or anything like that, which just kind of all comes down to what this opening is at the top here. So no big improvement there, in my opinion at least. So here we're just going to remove that top cap. One good thing I think that they did make a little change on is the fact that they have this ginormous O-ring at the top, or rather like gasket. It's like a huge gasket that prevents any juice from escaping out of that top area, which is definitely a nice touch. I think they also beefed up the threads a little bit because it only takes about, one full rotation or so just to lock in that top cap, and it's super easy to get on and off. I mean, just pretty much like one full rotation and the cap's off. Oh, if the threads will catch here. There we go. So about one full rotation and it's on. So very, very simple to take that on and off, which I really like. And this is something new that you guys haven't seen before. It's got this little kind of locking mechanism sort of thing for the glass piece. So that little thing right there, you've got to find something that'll get in there and twist those two little notches so that you can remove that little piece to actually remove the glass. So it's a little bit safer than just kind of screwing the chimney piece into the top cap. And I think it's going to be a little bit easier to remove that glass in the long run. Also, something new is the fact that it has two big slots at the top instead of four smaller ones. So that's definitely an improvement over the original Crown tank. Definitely a nice touch. It's so easy to fill this thing. That's the beauty of it. Very nice glass piece. Really no complaints in that department. Uwell has always been pretty good with their glass. Just move those little pieces aside. Nothing really new to speak of as far as inside the chimney is concerned. As you can see, again, that bore is that wide, and that's it. It's almost deceiving looking at it from the outside compared to what you got here. So I was a little bit disappointed by the actual bore of this thing, but overall, it's a sub tank. It is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, it creates a really nice seal to the top of the coil, so therefore no leaking issues. Yay! Next up we have the coil inside the base here. My camera will focus, there we go. So the coils themselves look very similar to the Rafale coils. They have that little metal shield on the top. They're a pretty wide bore as far as the inner diameter of the coil, and really, yeah, that's pretty much it. They look very similar to Rafale coils. And one thing is, they keep changing the base piece to these here. Yeah, this one is used. This is the one I've been using, but this is their new design. I kind of like it. I feel like it kind of makes a good connection there, and the airflow makes for a little bit wider airflow, having those 4 little holes. So no complaints in that department. The coils themselves are good. I cranked mine up to 75 watts the first hit I took, and it's been consistent ever since. No, cotton flavor, no nothing like that. Good coils, pretty consistent, which is right up there with the rest of what the Uwell company comes out with. And let's get this in focus. There we go. Here's the gold-plated pin at the bottom. The threads for the coil, really smooth, no complaints there. Nice double gasket protected threads for this part here. Again, no leaking issues that I have seen so far. I did have a bit of a gap when I first tried putting the coil in, when I did my live unboxing on my Facebook page, but it turns out I didn't have the coil seated all the way down, so I definitely fixed that issue pretty quick. One thing I really like about this is the airflow. It's going to be pretty tough to show you guys here, but it does click. Here, I'll do this. It's going to be a little bit tricky to hear that. There you go. You kind of got that last little bit there, but it does click really nicely into place, and I'll probably end up showing you that again when I put the whole tank back together. And that leaves us at the bottom here, Uwell engravings. Really nothing to show off there, pretty standard stuff. The pin sticks out, it's pretty flush. The pin is really flush with that, so don't go trying to use that on a hybrid mechanical or anything. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to actually back off this camera a little bit, just like that. We're going to install the coil. And put our glass piece back on. And actually, I'm just going to fill this up real quick. So I'm just going to grab one of my favorite liquids here. And I've got the nozzle right down inside that hole, and I'm just squeezing. Super easy to fill. And I like the fact that the chimney has this little skirt on it at the top, so that if I end up overfilling it or anything like that, I can always just I don't have to worry about it leaking all into the chimney or anything like that. You can see that little extra bit right there. Maybe not. Right on the middle of the chimney, there's that little extra bit of metal so that it sticks up a little bit, so it doesn't just drain right into the chimney. So we're just going to cap it off. And there we go. So let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, we are back. Now we're going to go over some pros and cons on this Uwell Crown 2 sub-tank. My first pro is the improved filling system. As you just saw in the close-ups, it only takes a few seconds just to get that top cap back on, fill it up with juice, and then pop the cap back on. You're good to go in under a minute, which is definitely a pro in my book since I'm filling this thing about 2 to 3 times a day, and any chance I can get to save a little bit of time so I can vape once again in under a minute is definitely a pro in my book. Also, I love the fact that they lengthen the middle chimney so that you don't even have to really find the 2 slots on the sides there to fill it up with juice. You could just kind of dump it in anywhere and it's going to find the tank no problem without getting into the center chimney and then therefore out through the airflow section. My second pro is the 22 diameter form factor. I really love the look of this thing on this rouleau here, but honestly I feel like it would work on just about anything. It would look really nice and classy. However, I would like to see possibly a 25mm version of the Crown 2, maybe Crown 2.5, something like that. I think that would look really nice on the bigger form factor box mods that are coming out nowadays. There's something to think about, Uwell, if you get a chance. Anyways, moving on, we have our third pro, which is the glass being super easy to remove. Anyone that has ever had to remove sub-tank glass before kind of feels my pain on this one, because it tends to be a bit more difficult dealing with the O-rings and everything like that. You gotta kind of have to wiggle out the tank, and it's just a big pain in the butt. So just being able to find something that fits in that little slot there, twist it around a couple times, that nut comes right off, and then your glass piece just slides right off. It's definitely a good thing. So with that is definitely going to be a pro. My fourth pro is the beefier coils. What I mean by that is, I don't know if you ever accidentally take your dripper off and then put your tank on and accidentally hit your tank at whatever wattage you're vaping your dripper at, but I've done that many times recently, and I was shocked to find out that the coils in the Crown 2 can handle super high wattage without burning. I've vaped this thing by accident at 115 watts on more than one occasion, and it definitely does not burn the cotton. So very well done on the coils. Really like that fact. I got to be a little bit more mindful of what I'm setting my wattage to when I go to vape on my tank. However, I know that the coils can take it if I accidentally do hit it at 115 watts. That being said, the color options, I love the fact that they come in 3 different colors now. I'm probably going to put a graphic up here somewhere. They're really cool looking colors, and I feel like the brown color might match well with the SXQ class. I might have to do a little bit of an investigation on that, but that would be a really cool color combination. But I like that they're thinking a little bit outside the box on that one too. So that's kind of more of the subjective pro in my book, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. Anyways, moving on to some cons now. My first con is the drip tip. You can see the drip tip here. It looks like it's going to be like this massive bore and all that, but in reality, it's just kind of whatever the chimney is down here, so it's a bit misleading, and the chimney itself is a bit small on this device, so I would like to kind of see a wider chimney maybe for the next version or something like that, maybe the 2.5 version, wink wink, but that's just me. But yeah, this big chunky drip tip is not my favorite. I actually tend to remove it and slap on one of my half moon tips. But everything fits nice and snug, so I guess there's, you know, little small miracles. My second con is the spit back. It tends to spit back a bit more than the original Crown. I've been using my original Crown for quite some time, and I don't really get a lot of spit back on that, and I'm definitely getting more spit back on the Crown 2 than I did on the original version. I could kind of attribute that probably to the wider coils, the wider inner diameter of the coil itself. I feel like that plays a part in this whole thing. Either that, or maybe just the coil kind of absorbs a little bit too much juice and you just kind of shoot some up into your mouth, but it has been an issue for me, so really not too psyched on that fact. My third con is going to be the new tank means new coils. So right now, Uwell's got their Crown original coils, their Rafale coils, and now the Crown 2 coils. I haven't tried to see if the Rafale coils will actually fit in this device, so I might be, you know, putting my fist in my mouth by saying this, but just because they come out with a new tank means you have to buy a whole new set of coils. So unfortunately, that's just kind of the way things go, especially a lot of tanks nowadays. They come out with a new version and all of a sudden they have a brand new coil, except for like the Atlantis. The Atlantis went through a few revisions without having to need a whole new coil form factor until they went up to the Clito. But that's neither here nor there. Moving on to my final con, not a huge improvement over the Rafale. I don't actually own a Rafale of my own, but I know quite a few people that do. And we sell them at my shop, so I kind of am familiar with the whole device by itself. There's a few things that are major improvements over the Rafale, but overall I don't feel like it's a big difference between the original Crown and the Crown 2. It's just kind of tweaked a few things on the Rafale, and then they came out with it and called it the Crown 2. But maybe that's just me. I don't really know for sure, but it just seems to me that they didn't really improve a whole lot of stuff over the original version. Now, moving on, that kind of brings me to my final point here, which is whether or not I would purchase this device if I did not receive it for free for the purpose of this video. And my answer would be both yes and no at the same time. I'm going to have to explain that. So first of all, I own a Crown tank already. You guys know that. I just said that. So you know that I own a Crown already. Would I buy this if I did not own a Crown already? Absolutely. Would I buy this as an improvement over the original Crown? No. And that's because I don't feel like there's too many improvements over the original Crown to make it worth it for me to purchase the version 2. That being said, if I had purchased a Rafale and I'm looking for something with improvements over that, then I would say yes, you should buy the Crown 2 because they fix a lot of the issues that the Rafale had. So there's a lot of kind of ups and downs to this whole thing here, but I feel like just use your best judgment and make your own decision for yourself. The price point you really can't beat. I guarantee it's not going to be any more than $40, so I'd say go ahead and pick one up just because the few little things that are improved over it. But hey, that's just me. But anyways, guys, that about does it for this video, so thank you so much for watching. Of course, comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of the Crown 2 sub-tank. Do you think it's worth it to purchase if you already own a Crown, or what? Do you think it's going to be the next revolutionary thing in the vaping industry? Let me know in the comment section down there. I'll love to join in on the discussion with you guys. Of course, check out the links in the description if you want to purchase one of these for yourself. Also, check out the advocacy links. Make sure you're fighting for your right to vape. Of course, check me out on all my different social media. I have Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me on there. Like my page on Facebook. Check out my Snapchat. And if you want to fund this channel of mine, then you can give me a couple bucks on Patreon. Anyways, guys, that about does it for this video. And as always, vape on!